Hello everyone and welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. I am going to do the short story readathon bingo game. So if you haven't heard of the short story readathon bingo game, then I will link all of the booktubers in the description box and tell you about them. And I will tell you about my short stories. So if you're in for the game, are you game? If you're game, stay tuned. All right, everybody, welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. If you are new here and you like hearing about books, plays, short stories, please subscribe. And if you are old like me or a returning viewer, welcome back. Okay, so there is a short story readathon hosted by Chantel Reads All Day, Mitzi Reads and Writes, and What Brings Karina Joy. And they are doing this really fun, fantastic readathon for short stories. And so I wanted to participate. And if you don't know already, I have years of experience as an English teacher, a reading teacher. I'm currently a reading specialist. And so I work with other English teachers in the classrooms. And so right now, I will be talking about some of the short stories and a play that I have seen taught in classrooms. That's sort of my emphasis for this video. Let's see. So I am going straight down. I have straight down for the bingo. And I think that's the objective, is to win the bingo game. So I am going to do weather is the top row, and I'm going to go straight down. Weather, the short story I read is All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury. And that is a story where it rains every single day, all day long, for 7 years. And then there's one day where the sun comes out for an hour. And there's a little girl, Margot, who remembers that because she's been on the planet Earth where there is sunshine. And this is a different planet. I think it's Venus or Mars, but they're on this planet. And the children are so excited to go out and enjoy the sunshine. And Margot tells them what the sunshine feels like, and they say she's lying and they're mean to her. And they're not kind children, I'll say that. And it's just a short story, science fiction. I don't want to tell you how it ends, but it's a really, really good one, and I highly recommend it. It's also been turned into a little, you can find the video on YouTube, but it's nowhere near as good as the story. The story is really good, and kids love it. I love it. And it brings up some really good topics for discussion, about relationships and power and bullying and kindness. And it's just a really good short story. A short story with a color in the title. My first thought was marigolds. It's actually about the flower marigolds, but the color, marigolds are the color marigold from the flower. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Yellow Wallpaper, because by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And I looked that up and I verified that it was in fact a short story, believe it or not. It's a short story of about 50 some pages, but it is a short story, The Yellow Wallpaper, and it's, considered a major feminist work. It's about a woman who has had a baby, and she is in this room with her baby. I can't remember if the baby was taken away from her, but she was kind of like secluded, because when a woman has, depression, in this case, it was a postpartum depression, her feelings were very much minimized, and she wasn't really treated like a human being of, independent thought and value in the way that we would expect, I think, in today's culture. And that was, I think, the point of the story, is that her feelings were of value. And so when we minimize another person's, in this case, depression, that can be very harmful. So The Yellow Wallpaper is a popular feminist short story. It's also taught usually in 12th grade English. All Summer in a Day, I've seen that taught in a lot of different classes because it's American Lit science fiction. I've taught it personally in middle school. I've also seen it taught in high school. Okay, so A Doll's House by Ibsen is the play I'm going to talk about, although currently I am working with two different teachers who are teaching Shakespeare. One teacher is teaching Romeo and Juliet and another teacher is teaching the Scottish play. But I'm going to go with A Doll's House because I've never talked about that play on my channel. And when that teacher wanted to do A Doll's House, I wasn't real sure how it would go because, it's older. Well, I mean, so Shakespeare, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. The kids really enjoyed it. And A Doll's House is, it's really also sort of a feminist work. The idea about the woman in the book is being sort of minimized as something to look at and enjoy for entertainment. And she describes her life as being like a doll's house, but she actually is pretty intelligent, even somewhat financially savvy, one could argue, woman. And during that time, I think Ibsen was trying to say something with that. So I would go with A Doll's House as a play that I would recommend. Another essay, well, this one's an essay. That was a play. I'm going right down the thing. So an essay that I'm going to talk about for my bingo card is Of the Dignity of Meanness or Human Nature by Hume. Same class where we read The Doll's House. And now we're doing the Scottish play, and the teacher, I'm the co-teacher, the teacher wanted to start with essays about, I guess, power and leadership. And so we did an essay by Machiavelli about, mankind and leadership. And this one, the essay Of the Dignity, I want to make sure I get the title right, Of the Dignity of Meanness of Human Nature, of the dignity or meanness of human nature. The idea is, should a leader be respected or feared? Is it better to be liked or feared? And the teacher had them reading this essay and discussing this essay as a segue into, I'm going to say it, Macbeth. They say the Scottish play because there's superstition surrounding that play. I've taught that play so many times. If I'm cursed, I've been cursed a long, long time ago because I've taught that play. I'm not superstitious. But anyway, it's a nice segue into that play because, Macbeth kind of abuses his power. And so we start with a discussion of, what is power and is it better to be respected or feared? And then the last one for the bottom, adapted to screen, a short story adapted to screen. I am going to go with Lamb to the Slaughter by Dahl. And the reason I'm going to go with that one is because I am a Hitchcock fan. And I'm also a Dallas fan. You remember Dallas? Na, 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 na. I loved Dallas. And Mrs. Ellie is the main character in the Hitchcock version. I don't know. I have said in some of my comments to other booktubers too, there's a really good movie about Hitchcock and his relationship with Tippi Hedren called The Girl. And he definitely had a thing for blondes. And Barbara Bel Geddes, Mrs. Ellie, she's a young blonde in the Alfred Hitchcock version of Lamb to the Slaughter, which it's not called Lamb to the Slaughter, I don't think, in Alfred Hitchcock's Hitchcock Presents version of it. But it is very much that story, Lamb to the Slaughter, which is a fantastic short story that I highly recommend. When people talk about Roald Dahl, I think often of Matilda, or like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's like that child author. Lamb to the Slaughter is not a children's story. It's a scary, like a mystery. And, I'm not going to say anything else. You got to read it for yourself. And the fact that Alfred Hitchcock ran with it and turned it into an episode says quite a bit, I think. And I highly recommend that story. I highly recommend every text that I've mentioned in this video. I wouldn't be talking about them if I didn't think that they were very good reads. So with that, I am going to say bingo! And go ahead and check out Chantel Reads All Day, Mitzi Reads and Writes, and What Brings Karina Joy. And thank you, ladies, so much for sponsoring this readathon. Bye for now.